I am an Indian student, year 1 of college, and I scored around 90% in both my class 10 and class 12 examinations. When I say around, I mean above. All while being the dumbest kid in class with the shortest attention span. So of course I know a thing or two about productivity. This right here is my full productivity toolkit, and it's all about simplicity. So I'm not gonna make a 1.5 hour video just trying to get a lot of watch hours. And this video is also not about the views, because I could have posted this exact same video in the exam months and gotten a lot more views. I have posted this video in this month because you can start early. You can start early and give yourself enough time to actually study before your final exams. Okay, whatever, enough yapping. Let's begin with this, right? Let me just put this to one side, get my pens ready. We're gonna need a lot of this table area today, by the way. First, let's fill up the requisites. Okay, so we're gonna start with mental health. We're gonna start with mental health. Okay, I have a different name for this section. Yeah, mental health and friends. Mental health and friends. These are like prerequisites, and we're gonna start with friends. You always have that one guy in your school, in your classroom, who says that, oh bro, I haven't started studying, right? You know who I'm talking about? You will get like flashes of that guy saying, oh I don't know anything about the syllabus. The night before the exam he's like, okay, no, I'm not studying, I don't know anything about the syllabus even, like tell me the syllabus, man. And then he scores a lot of marks. You need to stay away from any person who tells you that they aren't studying. It does not matter their grades, does not matter if they're lying or telling the truth. You need to get around truthful people who are actually discussing about the things that they're struggling with, the chapters that they have done study. It will feel like a hit to your ego when you're trying to make friends with them, because they will be ahead of you probably. But just know this, that everybody starts in some way or the other. And especially if you're watching this video, probably you're like me. So in my case, what happened was I started taking pride in the fact that I was not studying for the exam, and I was the only guy in class who was actually not studying for the exam, just to keep up with what I was saying. And then I realized after the exams that everybody else was studying. So it's much better to be around the people who are honest about them studying, rather than be around the people who say they are studying, who say they're not studying, but they are. And the first step in order for you to make new friends with these more honest kind of guys is be honest yourself. Let's keep this section as short as possible. Talk about mental health. We're gonna keep it very, very simple, okay? This is how you know I'm not earning any money from this because I could be selling you a little course right now. Whatever. Mental health, there's just 3 things you need to follow. The first one is, of course, your friends group. Very, very important. It affects your life in more depth and in more ways than you might realize. I'm telling you, your friends group is one of the most important levers for your success. The second and third thing is basically meditate and journal. That's it. There's millions of guides available on YouTube specifically teaching you how to journal and specifically teaching you how to meditate. I will not discuss this in this video, but just know that those 2 things are very important for your mental health. Do the obvious things as well, like stay away from social media. Personally, I have, like, the best case scenario is you quit using your smartphone completely and start using a dumb phone like this. I've made a video on my channel guiding you exactly step by step on how to do this transition. Best case scenario, you just quit using your smartphone. If not, at least quit scrolling on social media eventually. Another subsection that I want to put here, where's my yellow ink? Another subsection that I want to put here is sleep. It kind of deserves its own little section, but since I've made a separate video on how to sleep, I'll not really discuss about it too much. Use the circadian rhythm, the 90-minute timer inside your body to sleep. I've made a separate guide on my channel. I highly suggest you go and watch that, because that will teach you how to sleep for less hours but still not feel tired when you wake up, still not feel that grogginess when you wake up. Because let's be honest, during the exam seasons, we all, especially the bigger exams, we all have to sleep less and study more So I can't tell you that you need to sleep 8 hours. But the fact of the matter is you can still run on 180 hours of sleep. Sorry, 180 minutes of sleep. 3 hours. You just need to understand your body's natural clock, and that video should explain it much better than what I can do in this short period of a time here. Next tactic, it's gonna sound wishy-washy, but trust me, it is actually great. Brown noise. What is brown noise? It's kind of like a hum playing in the background, and when you listen to it, you're gonna feel like you are in a flight or in a really fast train or something. Basically, it will help eliminate the noise around you and help your brain relax a little bit, focus a little bit better. There's a bunch of different things that you can try, like white noise, pink noise, green noise. These people will just make noises up in order to get more views on their YouTube videos. But again, like each noise is slightly different, so choose your pick. Personally, I prefer brown noise over literally anything. I've tried it all. But you need to you need to know how to use brown noise to your advantage, because when you listen to brown noise in your headphones, it's very easy to feel sleepy. Oh, by the way, there's ads on YouTube. I've got premium, but not everybody does. What you want to do is go to ytmp3.com, and there you can just paste the link to one of the 1 hour long videos of brown noise playing and just download it. It will download that whole video as mp3 on your smartphone, and then you can avoid ads while playing that brown noise. Less distraction. Anyways, let's move on. So the way you properly use brown noise for your focus so that you don't feel asleep while listening to brown noise is you speak while reading out. And I don't mean like read out loud. What I mean to say is mumble and just read it in your mind, the whole paragraph, for example, and then you understand something. With that understanding of the topic, you try to explain that topic to an imaginary person in front of you. Personally, for me, it's beneficial for me to imagine a camera, because of course I'm more used to talking to a camera. But it could be your friends. Imagine your friend to be sitting in front of you. Imagine anybody to be sitting in front of you, and you just explain that topic to that imaginary person. Close the windows, close the doors of your room, turn on the AC, of course, the ventilation is important, and just talk it out loud, okay? Just use your voice. I don't need you to whisper. Use your voice loudly and explain the topic. While the brown noise is playing, like this is very oddly specific, but this is exactly what works for me and helps me understand the topic with much more clarity, helps me pinpoint the areas which need a lot more work, and this entire thing helps me retain a lot more information with a lot more clarity. So we're going to move on to the next point over here, but I mean this point is actually very important. Just writing brown noise as like one point doesn't really do it justice, but I don't have enough space on this board. But the next point is also very important. Deep work and Pomodoro technique. Both these techniques are probably something that you would know. Literally every student knows about the Pomodoro technique. Deep work is basically when you sit down and work for like 90 minutes or 1 hour, half an hour straight without any distractions. And Pomodoro is like you set a timer and then you take a break every now and then. Both these methods actually work. Like people who swear by deep work generally start hating on Pomodoro, and Pomodoro users start hating on deep work. But I think both these techniques are great. Talking about deep work, 100 times out of 100, no doubts about it, the deep work is going to lead to a better quality of work produced 100% of the times. If you want to focus on the quality of your work, you will have to do deep work. But not every day you feel motivated. Not every day you feel happy and you look forward to the work itself. On those days when you are feeling sad, demotivated, down, Pomodoro technique is the best. On some days you're like, I just don't want to study, and usually no studying is worse than some studying. If on that day you sit there to try to do deep work, you're just gonna fall asleep. So Pomodoro technique comes for the win. Again, you have to sacrifice some of the quality of the work output in order for you to do Pomodoro. But again, as I just said, like some studying is better than no studying. When you are feeling demotivated, Pomodoro. When you're feeling motivated, deep work. Long run, you of course want to prefer deep work eventually, because higher quality of work output, there's just no doubt about it. But both of these techniques are equally important and efficient. We're gonna move on to the next. Change the ink? No, we're not gonna change the ink. Next, we're gonna give you the specific tactic which I use to memorize stuff and understand stuff with much more depth. Thought tree. Honestly, this name actually does not make any sense. I just had to like make up a name for this section, bro. So here's the step by steps. You open your book and you skim through it. Okay, so not the full book, but the chapter that you want to do today or the section that you want to study today, right? Skim through it. I don't need you to read in depth. I just need you to like flip through it and try and understand what comes after what. This way you have a clear idea of the general contents of the chapter. What comes after what's the general structure of the chapter, what are the main topics discussed in the chapters. You just have like this mind map after you skim through it. That's the step one. Then you're gonna pull up all the questions. You're going to pull out all the questions that could come from that section. Some of the questions will be given inside the book itself. Some of the questions will be given by your teachers at school. You can find question banks online. There's just questions and questions and questions for any chapter available online. Just pull out a list of questions. Then I want you to look at the question and then mark the area of the answer within the chapter. So for example, like question 1, and then the answer is gonna be from the first paragraph. It's very difficult for me to explain without a book in front of me. Like question 1 and the answer of question 1 lies in paragraph 2, and so you're gonna mark the answer there. That makes sense? So that's the second step. You just mark things out. You don't need to put in a lot of mental energy. The third step would be to pick one part, then memorize. Essentially what you have done here is broken the chapter down into question based parts, small chunks which you can track the progress on, which you can memorize much easily in smaller chunks. It's gonna put a lot less pressure on you. And if you are really cooked in the head, just pick like five sections, 5 answers from the chapter, memorize that and do that every single day for the whole year. Before the exam, you are going to be prepared. Entire point of this step is to break the chapter down after having an idea of what's in the chapter, so that you know where the answers are, so that you waste less time. After you break the chapter down, it's going to be easier for you to track your progress. It's going to be easier for you to keep yourself motivated, because now you can actually look at the progress that you're making. Okay, I did like 5 sections or 10 sections or 15 sections today. I made some amount of progress. And this also helps you retain a lot more information, because once you have broken things down into chunks, your brain has an easier time processing all that data. Next, we got a very cliche thing, but I think it's pretty important. Health. I've just written health. I'll just do health and diet. Now I've already talked about mental health, so let's not talk about that. That's like super important, because when you're studying, it's very directly related with your mental health. But physical health and diet and all that stuff, there's a reason why I've put this after all these techniques, because you can still do great without optimizing your diet. There's a lot of fat people, there's a lot of unhealthy, generally sedentary people who are getting like top ranks at like one of the hardest exams in the planet. So clearly health and diet is not one of the primary things, but for guys like you, me and you, we just need these extra levers, these extra booster jets in order to even take us off the ground. So health and diet is also pretty important, but it's not more important than the previous techniques. There's gazillion amounts of guides available on YouTube on how to do what exercise and whatever, but I will teach you about the lymph system today, lymphatic system. I've actually talked about this in one of my previous videos. I don't remember which, whatever. There's this lymphatic system in your body. There's a liquid called lymph inside it, and this lymph collects all the garbage from all the areas of your body, also your brain. Now this lymphatic system does not have a heart to move the liquid around. You need to move the liquid around to move the liquid from the head to the kidneys, so that it can get like filtered. So the liquid needs to move, but it does not have a heart which is going to pump the blood. How does the lymph move? Using your bodily movement. The more you move, the more the lymph liquid moves around as well. When you live a sedentary lifestyle, when you do not move, this lymph system gets clogged up because the liquid isn't moving around. And when this liquid gets clogged up in your brain area as well, like in the rest of your body, it just causes a lot more bloating because the waste isn't getting filtered out quick enough. In your brain, also there is some level of bloating, and this bloating, you can feel it in the form of brain fog. This is basically the bro science behind brain fog. And so if you want to get clear of your brain fog, you don't need more coffee. You need to move more. Just move more. And skipping specifically is very helpful for this because how do I explain this? The lymph reservoir is somewhere around. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to dive deep into the science. Basically, you need skipping. Skipping is great for this. You can walk around, run, jog, whatever you want. Just move around more. Weekly 2 times, 3 times, doesn't matter. Just move around more. Maybe pick up your book and walk around on your terrace while you read it. Even that helps. If you simply just move around more, you're gonna have less brain fog. Simple as that. You don't need to like join the gym and build this aesthetic physique. That's important as well, but not for productivity. When it comes to diet, remember when I told you about the lymphatic system and the waste it collects? Well, the worse quality of foods you eat, the more waste materials there are gonna be. And the more waste there is gonna be, the more pressure it is gonna be on your lymphatic system. Let that sink in for some time. The more sugar you eat, of course, you're gonna feel the sugar crash. Everybody these days knows about the sugar crash, so avoid sugars. But also about the like bad quality fats and stuff, not ghee and butter, but the vegetable oils and stuff, like the bad quality fats, they will just clog up your lymphatic system even more, pressurize the lymphatic system even more. So like this will simply just cause a lot more bloating, a lot more brain fog in your head. Anyways, just eat a little bit healthier. There's like billions of guides available on YouTube, and also you can just ask ChatGPT about what's healthy food and stuff. Just eat healthier, move more. Keep it simple. Let's not complicate it. I'm actually gonna put up a little bit of a bonus here. Surprise, surprise. We're gonna put a bonus, and it's not gonna feel like a very special bonus because okay, let's just write it down. Coffee. This is like a separate bonus section in this video because you guys are addicted. I was in class 10. I'm gonna give you my personal example. I have this picture still somewhere in my camera roll. I think it's just a picture of 2 full-size cups, okay, like these big mugs, coffee mugs, just kept on top of one another, and I had those 2 full mugs together in like 1 minute succession. 1 minute, 2 mugs of coffee. Before the exams, we students like to replace our water intake with black coffee. It is crazy how much coffee we drink. Oh, by the way, energy drinks don't help you. Even the no sugar ones, they're just gonna give you the crash no matter what. Black coffee is the best. Now, to get the feeling of that punch when you drink that black coffee, you need to give yourself some time to rest from that black coffee. What do I mean by this? You go on like 1 week or 2-week coffee detox periods. Sounds fancy. You just don't drink coffee at that time. That is it. When you don't drink coffee for a week or 2, that sensitivity, the caffeine sensitivity, it kind of comes back. And then you can just sip 1 mug full of coffee, and then you're gonna feel the activation energy which you need to feel so that you can focus more. You don't need to like drink 5 mugs of coffee at once in order to feel something, start feeling something. That high is just there because you consume too much. So on the seasons when you're not giving the exams, on the seasons when you are a little bit laid back, relaxed, that is why I made this video like early on, right? You just trade up. Don't drink coffee for a week or 2. Usually the sensitivity just comes back. And when the sensitivity is back again, like 1 shot of espresso and you will be hammered. I think that is it. Did I miss any point? I don't think so. If you want this document, by the way, the link's not in the description. I deleted the file after printing it out. But yeah, you can take a screenshot if you want. My handwriting is so trash. Yeah, like start studying, bro. It's high time. I know you got like 2-3 months left. Okay, who am I talking to? I got exams in like 2 months.